I recently played through Metal Gear Solid 1 on the channel as a first timer who had had zero experience of it, and I wanted to have a brief chat about it before we jump into Metal Gear Solid 2, because that is also a game that I have zero familiarity with, but I thought it'd be really good to continue this series on the channel. Welcome back, folks. We here at the Nerd Pandemic love gaming, love collecting, and I've been trying to dive into some games recently that, for whatever reason, I have managed to miss that are part of the cultural zeitgeist, and we managed to do that in the previous video in this sort of mini-series that we're going for on Metal Gear Solid 1. Now, Metal Gear Solid 1 is one that surprised me as someone who had managed to miss this out, right? I don't know how I'd managed to miss this. Maybe I wouldn't have been allowed to buy this when I was younger. Maybe I just wouldn't have been that interested. I was surprised at how much I was able to enjoy this above and beyond my expectations. Like, my expectations were reasonably high, even though it's a stealth game, and I am notoriously not very good at stealth games. But even when you heard all the hype about what Kojima can make, when I sat down to play this, I was like, but it's a bit old. It might not work. But you know, it really did. The cutscene quality, I thought, for its time, really surprised me for a game that was that age. The way that they had the codec system as a way of like interacting with the characters, and you could use it as little or as much as you wanted to try and add little bits of extra flavour as you made your way through the game. The fourth wall breaks, the moment where you're walking around with Meryl in the base, and I think it's she says something like, "Oh, it's gone quiet," and you go, "Yeah," or Snake goes, "Yeah." The music stopped playing. Sure enough, the actual background music has stopped playing. Things like that, I was just immediately meshing with this, going, "This is absolutely sensational. This is so good." I really enjoyed this. The whole Psycho Mantis fight as well. I was actually surprisingly familiar with this fight. I didn't think that I knew anything about this game, but I did remember the chat about you had to put your controller into port 2, which obviously for the remaster that we were playing on PlayStation 5 was just a case of going into the settings and changing which controller it was, and suddenly you breeze through this fight. But I really thought that it was incredibly good. It was incredibly well polished. The story was insanely good. Some of the themes for this sort of current modern climate that we're in particular are also really cool. It was just a joy. Like, don't get me wrong, right? There was the odd bit that is aged a bit iffy, like the whole Liquid Snake chase right at the very end of the game. I thought that was the hitboxes, they were a little bit iffy. I thought that you'd maybe lost the emotional element of being able to beat him before he then comes back, and then you get the weird emotional moment again, where, again, another spoiler. I shouldn't have to put a spoiler on this. This game is incredibly old at this point. He then dies, and it's just like, oh, okay, he's back. Oh no, he's gone again. It was a bit odd, and obviously some of the dialogue around Meryl's is a bit dated, but again, it was the 90s. I'm not going to crucify them for that. So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed my time with that, and I knew that when I got to the end of that, I was going to have to jump into MGS2. I just knew that I was going to have to. So we've already got the ability to play this in more than one way, but I am going to, rather than play the PS2 version, which I do have, I've also got a copy of Substance as well for MGS2. I'm going to play it on the PS5, and we're going to jump in, and I think that we kind of have to continue this on, because I can imagine, like, by talking to Craig in particular, who's a massive Metal Gear fan, and he in particular was very happy that I was going to dive into this series. Yes, I am. When I was speaking to him, he was kind of saying the same, that like each game does build up on it more and more. I think his favourite, I believe, is either 3 or 4. I need to. He'll tell me, and he'll correct me. So I'd imagine he's getting more and more intrigued as he sees this footage, watches the final cuts, and sees how I got on. But yeah, I feel like I've rambled enough. I think I need to jump in and just get playing and see where this story takes us. So let's do it. Okay, it is time to start Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Now, I've tinkered around with the settings this time, and that I've went for the like upscaled internal resolution. I didn't do it for the first one because I thought it might have ended up just being a bit too well broken. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but it claims that its internal resolution's up to 4K. So I think that'll be kind of interesting to see that and play it. So I guess there's no time like the present. Let's just dive straight in. I'm assuming this, I might have missed the first few seconds, but is this New York? It kind of has a New York vibe to it. I must say the 4K internal resolution does look pretty good. I think that looks not too shabby at all. Oh. The electrical charge thing there was pretty cool. What an introduction. Or reintroduction, I suppose. I mean, that's a great opening. That sets the tone. Based on what I know from the first game, that sets it absolutely spot on. Really, really enjoyed that.
This is Snake.
I'm just giving it a go here, right? And I like how they've added the first person view from 1 to 2. I think that's a really, really nice addition that was probably kind of missing from that first game, you know, with the exception of doing some kind of stuff around the sniper rifle and what have you. I think that's a really, really cool thing that they've done. Now the tricky bit is the triangle to move across. I like this already. I think the things that they've done with the movement is really, really cool. Like the whole way where like you've got to hold the button in before letting it go to like actually shoot someone. That's cool. That's a cool little twist on it rather than just like being like super OP. You have to kind of think about what you're doing. I mean, I think it's more that you missed rather than he dodged it. I think, but it seems like she's gonna have to get got, doesn't it? Like, I really like the movement. I think it does make some of the combat, because they know they can do a bit more, it probably then makes missions like this, things like this a bit tougher, because I don't know the best thing to actually do here. I have no idea how long it took me to get to even that point of defeating that. There was something about my brain could not like coherently deal with the strafing and the crouching and pressing and releasing to get the shots off. I don't know what that was, man. I hope that's not going to be a me not being able to control him for the rest of the game level of nonsense, or if that was just like teething problems. It just felt a bit weird. Okay, so the controller had to charge, so I thought this was as good a time as any to have a kind of break. I'm maybe like an hour and a half in. I'm still on the tanker at this point. The game seems good. I like the way it looks in terms of that upgrades. Obviously, I'm going and using the remastered collection and then also putting the 4K internal resolution on it, but it looks good. I'm struggling with the controls going in and out of the first person mode. My brain, because it's the pressing, like holding the button to shoot and then letting it go to fire, my brain keeps on like accidentally like pressing buttons to like, I don't know, lean, come out the first person. All this nonsense. Ultimately is not serving me well when it comes to actually playing the game. I think the story's interesting so far. Obviously, I'd imagine more people will start coming back and it'll start kind of building up and out from this point. But I think so far so good. Enjoying it. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to play a bit. And well, I need to wait for the controller to charge because I only have one controller and it's flashing up low. Downside of the PS5, the controller batteries just don't last long at all. But I will check in with you guys after a few hours of gameplay and see where we're at. Okay, so a little bit of time has passed here. We have finished off the bit in the ship, which was, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty insane. It was pretty badass, all the absolute chaos when that ship gets blown to pieces. And now we've made Raiden, or Raiden? I don't know how we want to pronounce his name. I don't know, calling it Raiden just doesn't quite feel right. And we're making our way through this facility now. I must say, I think this game is a lot harder than the first one. Yeah, when I was setting the game up, I took the middle option for the radar, which was the, you know, you can see it when you're not like infiltrated rather than turning it off completely. And it does seem that that whole change of you have to find the like computers in the areas to in effect turn the radar usage on. I find that fascinating. Raiden's an interesting character. He's very, very different. I'm assuming he's like sort of juxtaposing Snake. Very different in the way that he's sort of set up. I've just ran around that corner without really looking, which I keep on doing that and I keep on getting myself killed. The amount of times that I've died is actually ludicrous in this so far. This guy's unfortunately met his end. That is unfortunate. I do like the shaking of the comms. It's very dramatic, isn't it? Incredibly dramatic. But we're back here. We've not been here in a while. This is kind of like where you start almost, isn't it? So I'm gonna hit a cheeky wee save and see if I can get this bomb. Is it in the water? Aha! I can see it. I can't use the item from here. Oh, pish, I'm gonna die. Yeah, I'm gonna die, aren't I? Because we can't use items. This is a rip. That's really frustrating that we found it.
No, this isn't happening. Jack, you have to
But
answer me.
yeah, we were not quick enough. I'm gonna have to give this another go. Like that. Hey, with all the minutes in the world to spare, we got it this time. You're all over the shop when you're diffusing all those C4s, man. Must say, it feels like, and obviously, I know I'm a few hours in, but some of my time was spent like on pause menus and like, you know, charging controls or whatever else. It feels like we're kind of flying through the game, but I don't know if it's just that's just the kind of pace of this one. And then maybe MGS1 felt a smidgen slower, I don't know. Oh, a lot of them. Oh no. Oh god, no. Oh dear. Oh dear god. That's a big gun. That's a very big gun. Oh shit. Well, we're in a boss battle now, folks. Oh. Survivor attacking in Vamp appears. Very interesting. Honestly, I thought that was going to be Snake. That took a twist that I didn't expect it to take.
So you're the one.
Oh dear.
You're right on time, I see. I like a punctual man.
I like a punctual man.
I am Fatman.
It's Fatman.
I'm the greatest that humanity has to offer.
Is he on a skateboard? Please tell me he's on a skateboard.
It's the rhythm of time.
Damn it, Kojima, he's done it again.
I used to hang around department store clock counters.
Oh, it's roller skates. That's even better. I mean, a big fat bloke on roller skates is genuinely quite funny.
Bombs tell the time with every moment of their existence.
I mean, I'm guessing
Nothing else announces
we need to kick his ass, so let's go try and kick his ass. So a trick I've found is that you don't actually need to go and defuse the bombs straight away. You can actually use it as an opportunity to do damage to him like that. And I managed to he got done 3 bombs. I defused 2 of them, had like 30 seconds left, and like got like 2 hits on him, headshots. And then went defused a bomb there and then just kind of kicked his ass. So there's the trick. Anyone who's somehow watching this and wants spoilers, that's what you need to do. It makes perfect sense when you say it out loud, but the first time I was like, wait a minute, what? I quite like how cheesy he is though. He's like a super cheesy version of Kingpin.
What do you mean?
Though how he's still alive after all those headshots as anyone gets, like, that baldy napper got shot a lot.
What is this?
Okay, so we're about, probably somewhere between like a third and a half way through the game, at least judging by the chat that I'm seeing online as I'm reading up about MGS2. I'm really enjoying this, you know. It feels like it's a nice step up, it's a nice evolution from the first game that I really enjoy. I'm quite liking the fact that, I mean, for talking sake, right, so that entire section where you're going through, you're defusing the bombs and you're talking to Stillman and then you end up with the final fight, you know, fighting Fatman. That felt like a really a really well done, really well constructed set of things that sort of concluded in a boss fight, almost like as if it was one level within this map that is obviously kind of its own one level. Really, really well done. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think that the cheesiness of him in particular was really, really good. Quite like that. And I'm quite liking how there's this kind of sort of this dread that's kind of hanging over you as like Raiden's like a total noob at this. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He's very, very new to this whole thing. And I think it's good. I think it's a lot of fun. It feels like a really, really good game. So now we're at the point where post that you've got to go and try and see if you can go to the middle shell, the sort of middle core part, and see if you can actually find the president and these hostages, which is going to be interesting. So what I'll do now is I'll play a little bit more and we'll jump back in because I kind of want to just like knuckle down. I don't know how long the game is, obviously, right? I think when I looked at my save there, I was like 6.5 hours, which is maybe a little bit on the long side, maybe, but obviously I've never played this before, don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm not very good at staying stealthy. So I'm pleasantly surprised with my performance so far. But yeah, let's keep on going. Right, well, I currently seem to have been dropped into a fight with a Harrier being piloted by Solidus Snake, which I'm not gonna lie, that is some unreal patter from this game. Like, that is genuinely outstanding. How funny that is, man. Solidus Snake. I didn't last very long in the last one, shall we say. Oh, wait. Was that it? Yes! I find Vamp a very interesting character in this. It's really cool, man. I'm really enjoying the story here. It's really keeping me on my toes, and it's got to the point where it's just became weird. But it's like weird in a way that's really, really engaging and interesting rather than be just weird that's a bit boring or just so naff.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I
This is, look at the speed he's running. Is that not absolutely ludicrous? But it's really, really funny. He's running on water, exactly. Because he's some kind of mythical being. Like, this is just utter nonsense, but in easily the best way possible. Like, I thought I was going to film a bit more between the last clip and these ones, right? But the reason why I didn't is because I was just engrossed. I was just so, like, dialed into the story that I just couldn't see anything else. It was just, let's get stuck into this and play it. Like, that's the best compliment you can give one of these games, I would have thought. Just got to the point there where, and again, I've said it many times, said it in the last one, say it now, spoiler alert, so you know, if you haven't played and you don't want to know, this is the time to jump off. The whole bit where Ocelot appears again, takes care of the president. You've got Raiden who's just kind of standing there going, oh, this guy again, and then just kind of lets him saunter off. That's a few times now where Raiden's just kind of like standing there at the clothes full, not really knowing what's going on. And you have like the 10 minutes of exposition about whole Metal Gear Arsenal and all that kind of stuff. About how it's Otacon's sister is the one who's in charge of the software and stuff. Man, this game has just went crazy. It's went to like weird in such a crazy and very, very entertaining way. Just nuts. I love the way this game is like addressing stuff. Some of the stuff that's in it is like, wow. A lot of this is probably concerns that people have in the current day around the various political climates that we're all in. The whole Patriots thing is fascinating. I'm really intrigued to see what that'll eventually be like when we get further and further into that. But no, this is class. Really, really enjoying this. I actually wanted to film a little bit more there, but I was just so engrossed. You know, I was just going cutscene to cutscene to section to cutscene, just like drinking it all in. Couldn't really take my eyes off of it to stop and position the camera to film. But, oh man, it's unreal. It is unreal.
New here at 11, bizarre new video just into our newsroom shows a naked man running through the scene of a crash.
So I don't really know what's happened, but for some reason, Raiden has no clothes. He's currently clothless. So that's a twist. I don't know how that's going to go in terms of getting through this section when I have no gadgets. My god, that guard may be the dumbest person alive. How have I got away with that? I mean, I call at this point,
Turn the game console off.
What did you say?
What?
The mission is a failure. Cut the power right now.
What's wrong with you?
Don't worry, it's a game. It's a
What?
game just like usual.
You'll ruin your eyes playing so close to the TV.
What are you talking
What is going on?
Right?
Oops, I've accidentally killed the speech. That's annoying. That's really annoying. I was quite enjoying that. I accidentally pressed a button. So what happens if I do turn the game off? Like if I was to turn the game off right now, what happens? I'm kind of tempted to save and try it. Let's see what happens.
Patience has its limits.
This does then happen once I've saved and reloaded.
I'll do the fighting. You can just go home.
What does that mean? I'll do the fighting, you can just go home.
Honestly, though, you have played the game for a long time. Don't you have anything else to do with your time?
This is so strange, man. I kind of dig it. This is a hell of a revelation. I did think she was a bit strange, to be fair. There was something a little bit odd about her.
Fine-tooth comb.
But is she actually a spy for the Patriots?
Performance had me completely fooled.
Because there's a lot of really strange things going on in this part of the game.
It hurt to play out this
Mental though.
romance.
This game has just like, it's thrown me 4 or 5 times since I've sat down here. This is crazy.
Because I knew.
Fish and mailed.
The kids are all dead. Fish and mailed.
What the fuck? This is so strange. Like, do I press anything? Do I just continue on? Like, that was so weird. Is she just randomly bleeding? Interesting. I would have thought that you would have stayed behind to help. It's interesting that you've left to go wherever this is. The space in between, almost. All very strange. That fight is the most bizarre fight I think I've ever done in one of these games so far, but yet it was kind of fun once I worked it out that the cheese is to get like super close to them. It's weird though how it's like you have got to kill 6 of them but they just keep on coming. But that was 6 he's taken down, which is pretty good considering I had like 2 rations. Oh, we're gonna get smushed. Oh. Olga has appeared. If we've got to fight again, this is going to be tricky. I kind of hope that we're given a chance, you know, or are they now turning on him or just kind of malfunctioning? GW's went nuts. He's panicking, he's freaking out. It's weird how they make them seem kind of real because they bleed. I'm pretty sure, which is kind of interesting. Interesting mix of man and machine. Right, I've just sat through 40 minutes of absolute Kojima cinema, and we're now at the solidest snake fight. Now, I don't know how this is going to go if you're supposed to actually win or lose here. Fascinated to see how this goes. But we obviously, all I've got is the blade. So how is this going to work? Like, I guess we'll just kind of go and try and win. Whoa. Man on fire. I'm on fire. This will be interesting. Right, that was all a bit cheesy. I was still on the ground. Ah, right. Okay, that's done something. Another snake bites the dust. But he had loads of health left. I'm a bit surprised that classes as a win. That's interesting. Maybe I just don't have a clue what's actually going on anymore. I'm really sure what he's gripping for, mind you. maybe he's dead now. Very dramatic. Very, very dramatic. And that is the end of Metal Gear Solid 2. Wow. I think I'm going to need a minute to collect my thoughts on this because I think that's going to be on my list in my conversation as one of the best games I've ever played in terms of like from a story perspective. It was absolutely nuts. But yeah, I'll let the credits roll. We'll jump back to my desk and we'll have a chat, shall we? So that was all of the gameplay for Metal Gear Solid 2 now. The dust has settled. I've had a few days to collect my thoughts. And what can I say other than I thought this stuck the landing. I was really, really enjoying it, but I had this little voice in the back of my head going, they might not get the ending of this spot on. The last, 2 hours or so of the game, which is a sort of almost 50-50 mix between cutscenes and actual gameplay, is absolutely superb. I think, and this might be a bold statement to make, that I think this is maybe up there in terms of like story-driven games. Definitely top 10, but maybe my top 5 games of all time. I loved some of the themes that this was trying to pose back when this came out 25 years ago originally. Some of the stuff they're talking around things like censorship, about this constant stream of stuff to do and stuff to watch on the internet, the endless scroll that you get on social media these days, even on this platform that we're on right now, and this idea of clogging up information, the themes around like, can you tell what is real and what is not? You are supposed to do X, Y, and Z. Should you have been doing that, or did you just go along with the crowd? I actually sat there with my mouth agape for the vast majority of the last few hours of this game. I would say that it's different to the first one, and that the end boss isn't too difficult. I think it took me maybe 2 goes. But I think ultimately when you get that far, when you get to that point in the game, it isn't about fighting this difficult boss and having this massive challenge that you overcome at the very end of the game. It's about the story that it's taking you through, which I really, really enjoyed. This game does a lot of things a bit better than its predecessor, that is the kind of things you would want in a sequel. Like, obviously, from going to PS1 and PS2, it's graphically a lot better. I thought that I was switching around between the sort of original resolution and the upscaled one. I filmed everything in upscaled, but even the original one looked pretty good. I think I was like, okay, this is not bad, this is decent. And then the upscaled version was really, really good. Like, kudos to Bluepoint for what they've done for that. I thought that looked excellent and played really, really well. I had a nice extra level of variety around weapons and around some of the things that the enemies are doing and the enemies themselves, which I really, really liked. Story's absolutely electric. I can't wait to see what the third game does in terms of where the story goes, in the fourth one and so on, because ultimately I am invested. I really, really like what it is they're laying down at this juncture. Very, very, very good. I loved it. I just loved my time with it. There was points during this where, similar to the first game, where I thought I was going to film more. I think I might have even mentioned it in one of the clips that I filmed. I can't even remember at this point. Like, I probably wanted to film more gameplay, but I was too busy engrossed actively playing the game and getting involved and sort of almost going into this kind of like flow state when playing it, that I just wanted to see the next thing and next thing. I had to remind myself multiple times to stop and set up the camera and press record to record me playing someone talking about it, because I was just in there, I was just like ingrained into the story. So this was absolutely sensational, like a fantastic step up from the first one into this one. A lot of the themes in this are things that are relevant to the current world today, which is also very interesting. And I cannot wait to see where they go from here. But this is not the end of Metal Gear on this channel. We are going to do a playthrough of the third one that we're dropping in a couple of weeks. I am actually going to go now and try and get started on playing that as we speak. We'll see if I can get that done. I would imagine I would, because ultimately this game's going to be absolutely mega, isn't it? Like, it's going to be another evolution and another step forward. And I'm looking forward to watching the DVD that comes with Substance. I think I'll have a little flick through and see some of the little bits and bobs that was on there. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video at home, press the like button and press the subscribe button to see more from us here at TNF. The next one for this will be up in 2 weeks, but we'll have another video out next week just to whet your appetite before we continue on this game series. And from all of us here at TNF, take care, and we'll see you guys next time.